Finds Money London 2016. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. With me here is now Ronald Stöferle. You remember the head fund manager of Incrementum AG out of Austria and Liechtenstein. Very famous, and I'm really happy that I have him here. Ronnie, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, how do you like the show?
Very good. It's well attended. Great companies, spectacular presentations. Grant Williams was just doing a fabulous job, so I really enjoyed a lot.
Fantastic, great. Glad to hear that. And when you say presentations, you presented yesterday, and I already got a lot of feedback out of this. It's so funny because you are one of the few people who really stand in front of the audience and say what you think, and you give targets. Maybe you can comment a little bit, maybe not on all 10 topics, but more, what are your main thoughts or main topics for next year?
Well, the title of the presentation was Gold, the bull market is back. I submitted the title 3 months ago when gold was trading at 1350. Now everybody is questioning the bull market, but I'm pretty confident that we're at the very early stage of a bull market. And the main reasons are basically rising inflation and recession fears that will be coming up sooner or later, which might sound a bit contrarian with all the plans that Donald Trump has announced, but I think that there's quite a lot of fundamental reasons to believe that we might see a recession, or perhaps we're already in a recession in the US.
That's a bit tricky to trust which data.
Exactly. I think in 2008 they said they dated back the recession 9 months after. So we'll see. But I was in the US quite recently, and it actually didn't feel like a recession. It felt like a depression, and therefore it's no wonder that they voted for real change and that they voted for Donald Trump. So the main topics or the main forecasts that I made was, first of all, I'm seeing rising inflation due to the base effect. Remember, 1 year ago, oil prices were collapsing down to $25. Now we're at 45.
And today is the OPEC meeting in Vienna,
Today
right?
is the OPEC meeting in Vienna. Therefore, we'll just see from a statistical point of view, due to this base effect, we will see rising inflation rates in the next couple of months, up to 3, almost 4%. Then one of the main calls that I made was that the Fed will not hike interest rates next year, but they will have to reverse and lower interest rates actually, or introduce another round of quantitative easing, because somebody has to finance all those infrastructure programs by Donald Trump. I'm pretty confident that commodities already made their lows, although they are diverging.
Copper,
as you know, industrial commodities are doing great, while energy is doing okay. Precious metals are not that positive the last couple of weeks. But I've made the call that commodities as an asset class made their lows. I'm pretty confident on silver, because when inflation becomes a topic, silver will perform big time. So I'm expecting a price rise at around 50% next year.
It's like $25 for next year, right?
Exactly, yeah. Which is not outrageous from my point of view.
That would help a lot of the silver companies.
It would tremendously. Then I'm thinking that volatility will come back. At the moment, there's much more greed than fear in the markets. I think the markets are putting way too much confidence in Donald Trump. He's not the savior. I think the comparison to Ronald Reagan is just wrong, because Ronald Reagan had the tailwind of falling rates actually, and the debt levels were so much lower when Reagan became president. What else did I say? I think that sort of Eurobonds will be introduced in the Eurozone. They're already talking about European defense bonds. So Eurobonds through the back door will be implemented. And there will also be in the Eurozone the call for really big infrastructure programs. Yeah, and of course, this should also support commodity prices.
Fantastic, good. Well, Sam, you answered almost all my questions. Very comprehensive. But you said $25 silver. Where do you see gold next year?
I would say at the moment, for the very short term, the technical picture is damaged, and that's mainly the reason is the strength in the dollar, and this is the biggest question mark for me and the biggest threat for precious metals and also the commodity space at the moment. If the dollar should really go through the roof, and it kind of broke out of a huge triangle, then this would cause serious problems in the precious metal space. Having a look at precious metals in other currencies, in euro terms, for example, in British pound terms, the performance since the beginning of the year is excellent. In British pound terms, here it's up 30%. In euro terms, it's up 15% since the beginning of the year. But we have to follow the dollar closely, of course. And I think the reason for the fundamental strength in the dollar is that everybody will believes that the Fed will continue hiking rates, and I just don't see that. So if the market will be pricing in that the Fed will perhaps become a bit more dovish again, then I think it should be a really good environment. And I see gold trading at 1,500 next year. I think the risk-reward ratio is just excellent. I don't see too much downside anymore, and the upside is just spectacular.
Maybe last question: can you give us an idea what companies, not name companies, but what type of companies are of interest for you 2017? In the light of your predictions, do you more favorize, let's say, the big producers, the smaller ones, or do you say, oh, maybe a good developer who will be in 12 to 18 months in production could be a thing? What is your approach to that?
Of course, it's always a matter of price. Yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah, of course. First, you have to do the valuation. Yeah.
So I like some names in the silver space at the moment that just sold off big time the last couple of weeks. In the gold space, I favor the small caps and the mid caps. I really like the uranium space at the moment.
Oh, you're interesting. Me too.
I think in the energy space, for some reason, the market is completely overestimating the elasticity of oil supply. It just won't happen that if oil hits 50 or 55 again, they will just turn the switch and production will rise immediately. So I think there's plenty of opportunity in the energy space. That's basically it.
Okay, perfect. Then, Ronny, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Look forward to next year. I love your predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, there was Ronald Stöferle, the head fund manager of Incrementum out of Austria and Liechtenstein, and you heard him. He presented yesterday his 10 predictions. Of course, we couldn't talk about all of them, but I liked silver 25, gold $1,500. Uranium is on his watch list, of course. And oil, we will see. Maybe we will see a little bit of a rise. Inflation is coming back, which is good for gold and of course also for silver. And we have to watch Donald Trump for sure. We like the infrastructure programs. Commodities are back in the game. Maybe not within the next 3 months, but for sure we have a new bull market will establish here. So Merry Christmas from London. Thanks and bye-bye.